Good morning. Today is the 1st of October and this is the Furiousdriving social event at Gilks Garage at Kineton in Warwickshire. I managed to get myself here quite early, so I'm in the main section of the event, but there is also a second section that we'll get to later. One of the cars I think that Mr Richardson had, or his lady wife had quite early on in their automotive lives, was a Mark II Volkswagen Polo, and this is indeed a Mark II Polo. Some people call these Mark IIIs, but they're normally referred to these days as Mark II facelifts. This is a really, really late one. They were replaced by the Mark III in 1994, and this is on an L, so 93, 94. It's quite a low spec one. It's only got a 4-speed gearbox. I don't see any decals on this, so I can't tell if it's like a Fox or something like that. It probably is. Those wheels, by the way, are aftermarket. I don't actually know what they're off. They're off probably some kind of Volkswagen product, but I'm not exactly sure. I have actually driven a Mark II facelift Polo on the channel. I drove it in 2019. It was the G40 Coupe, which is a bit different from this. If I remember, I'll put a link to that in the description below. This is a 1997 Vauxhall Astra F. It's actually registered 1st of August 97, so somebody was really excited about getting their new R-plate Astra 1.6 Diamond Auto. I've driven two other Astra Fs on the channel, but I've not driven an automatic one. Mr Chris James, who has supplied many cars to the channel, has driven down from the northeast in this, and he's very kindly said I can have a go, so I shall be doing that later. Mr Colemans is here, the rubbish mechanic, who's brought his Alpha 166, which you would have seen on the channel a number of times. I think I probably filmed this for the channel about 18 months ago. I can't remember exactly. It was a while ago. The engine's looking very shiny, as is the bodywork actually. Obviously keeps his cars in excellent condition. Good morning, Mr Coleman.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Oh, and more twin spark action here. 2004 to 5 147 twin spark. I really would like to have a go in one of these actually. I maybe should get one of these on my channel. I do like driving Alphas. I'm very fond of that sort of thing. Pre-facelift one in a sort of nice red colour. Really sort of shiny on the video. Bit of a contrast here. This is a 2000 Volvo V70 T5 Estate. It's got the white block engine in it. We do like Volvos of this era on the channel, viewers. This is a really late P1 V70. It dates from sort of the final bits of production because the press cars for the P2 V70s actually are on V plates, so it's a really, really late one. And it's very nice. It's done over 200,000 miles. It's even actually got a little badge up there on the grille, which actually shows the fact that it's done. Thank you, sir. It's actually done over 200,000 miles. It's on an LPG system as well, which does help with the fuel bills these days. And there we are. That's actually the original coolant reservoir. Normally that they sort of go bad, and you have to get a original spec one there. Excellent. You can also fit that to Rover 800 for some reason. I don't know why, but that's a relevant fact for you. Obviously, I've opened my bonnet here. I really should at some point clean this engine, but it's okay. I don't think you're going to see too many other 45 V6s here today because there aren't very many left at all now. This Corsa B is a really, really early one. Obviously, this car has been on the channel as well. A few months ago, it's a 1.2 LS. It's from the sort of first few months of production. It's still got original dealer plates on it from Wells of Rochester. It's a bit of a higher spec than the one that I filmed, which is a Merit E-Drive. This has little changes in it, such as that gear lever. That's off a later one, and we think possibly those heated seats are not original to the car. But yes, they are actually quite good fun to drive, even with the 1.2 engine, which develops all of 45 horsepower, which is extraordinary. Got all kinds of sort of merchandise here. Hello, sir. Hello. All sorts of merchandise. You've got 6 different designs, and here is Master Richardson himself, who's manning the stall. Thank you, sir. We have all sorts of exciting t-shirt designs and stickers and new banners and all kinds of stuff. I am at some point in my life going to drive this car. Not today. I have been offered a drive in it. Need to go somewhere where I can't crash into anything because it's so big and it's left-hand drive, and you know that's the sort of thing that causes me problems, viewers. Another car that we've actually had on the channel before is this 1993 Proton 1.5 SE MPI Aeroback automatic, which had a no budget reviews a while ago. The owner's called Caleb. He bought it fairly recently. It's actually got the incorrect rear lights and sort of reflector panel on it now, because unfortunately there was a caravan on fire next to it where he lived, and those actually melted in the fire, so he's actually replaced them with a pre-facelift item that don't look quite right, but the rest of it looks very good. There's a little bit of rust on it. It was actually quite a good fun driving this. I enjoyed it a lot more than the Proton I used to, which is a 1.3 MPI GLS Saloon. About this sort of era, it was an L but also a 93. It's also got a very cheeky little exhaust on the back of it, which makes it sound interesting. Not the most economical car though, but that exhaust combined with a 3-speed automatic gearbox means you actually get worse fuel economy than my Row 45 V6, which isn't too good. So this is a Fiat Tempra. It's from 1990. I think we've probably seen this somewhere before, maybe at Festival Exceptional or something like that. It's a very, very, very rare car, this. Very rare. Sorry, no, it's at 1.6. It's actually a 1.8. It's got twin overhead cam mentioned. Look at that dashboard, viewers. It's similar to that Tipo we did a walk around on last year. Obviously, the Tempra is very similar to the Tipo. It's basically like a saloon version of the Tipo, but you don't find them in this condition anymore like this. You just don't find them like this at all. So it's remarkable. Neither do you see too many of these. Saab 900. I think this is a Saab 900 Turbo. Yes, it is. Classic kind of aero style wheels and grey leather, and it's actually a Turbo S 16 valve. So, and it's from the local Saab dealership where I grew up. It's from Peter Clark's Saab of Southampton, which have obviously been gone for a long time. But Saab's been gone for a long time now. It's over 10 years since they went under. But yeah, grey leather interior, engine very, very distantly related to the old Triumph Slant 4 engine from the late 60s, early 70s. This, by times, nothing to do with it. I think it's either called the Saab H or the Saab B engine by this stage. I always forget which way round it is. But nevertheless, I'd love to go on one of these at some point, yes. It just depends if I get off one. A Citroen C5, sorry, Sinclair C5. Well, that's what they always made a joke of when the C5 came out, with the car one, but it was rated a Sinclair C5. Ooh, a Triumph Spitfire. I don't know, I think we've seen this before as well, this particular Spitfire. I think it's a very late 1300cc one. I don't think this is the 1500, I think it's a 1300 one. So on N, so 74, 75. Same engine in here to the Triumph Toledo. Which was a relation of a Dolomite that I drove on the channel recently. Look how easy it is to get to the engine. That's so ridiculously easy to work and everything. Just nothing in the way, and you just reach down there and pull the oil filter out. It's amazing. Another car we had on the channel here, complete with beige leather interior. This 2010 Honda Accord, which I do very much like, views. It's one of the best cars we've ever had on Sensible Second-Hand Reviews. Most agreeable, I must say. It's even got a reversing camera, and the owners very kindly put 2 stickers in here of relevance. We've got Furiousdriving, and my one we've got I Drive a Classic, and we've got Ian Seabr's sticker and Planet Auto, and another one of Ian Seabr's stickers. He's very, very much excited about that. He's even got a T-shelf there, which is the sort of thing that is discussed a lot today. Oh, come on! Someone's bought this very nice 2000 Jaguar X-Type, and it doesn't have a beige leather interior. Fortunately, somebody else has bought a car with a beige leather interior along, so it's okay, but, never mind. I would like to still have a go in it. What's a 3 litre? That's not bad. I mean, we'll have to sort of forgive it, lack of beige leather interior, won't we? Oh my gosh. Wow. It's one of these, I can't remember if it's the 5th or 6th generation, I guess it's the 6th one. It's very similar to the previous one, but it's the EG and EH Civic. This is a 1.6 VTI. It's like one of the subtlest hot hatches ever. I think this had something like 160 horsepower. That's a personal plate, it's not an L-Reg originally. These came out about 1995. I think this is a pre-facelift one of those, so it'd be between about 95 and about 98, something like that. There is a review that I will release at some point of the one that's owned by Planet Auto. That's, I think it's an EK9 is the one that they have. I get confused about these sorts of things, but there we go. Civic chassis codes are very confusing. This car belongs to one of my subscribers, but unfortunately we can't talk about it. So I wonder if we can talk about this Honda CR-V, because I saw an almost identical one of these last month. Ooh, I think it's a petrol one. Yeah, it's a 2015. These are actually really, really good cars. They're fantastically good cars. They are packed with technology for their time, and they tend to be very reliable. Yeah, I sourced one of these. It was a 62 plate. It's a very early one in this colour for a client just last month. 2013 to 14 BMW 111i. I don't really know anything about these, to be honest with you. Apart from the fact that when I drove one of these, was the M140i. I think it was the next generation on from this. It was really, really, really fast. Another car I've actually sourced for a client in the last year was Mr Civic. I'll just check if we can talk about this. Just have a little check, viewers, and see if we can. Oh, I can't see. I can't see. Yeah, it's got no badges to give it away. But the one I sourced was a petrol Tourer. It's a really late one, a 2017 in auto. It was rather nice. Yeah, so they are quite nice to drive, but whether we can talk about that one or not, I don't know. Ooh, reminds me of the mini event from the Isle of Wight that we attended last month. Actually, this is a 70s one, 76, 77 registration, but it's had quite a few modifications in it. Steering wheel, interior, it's made to look like it's a little bit earlier than it is. But that's really, really clean. That's worth probably quite a lot of money actually now. Most of them are. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this Jaguar Mark IX. Mark IX was the predecessor to the Mark X, unsurprisingly. This would be around 1960, I think. It was the last of these really big, heavy Jaguar saloons. Not that the Mark X's not heavy as well, but the more sort of traditional styling in there. That is really nice. I wouldn't want to try to drive that unless I knew it had servo brakes, an all-synchro mesh gearbox, and power steering. But I don't know if it did. Stephen's at the back there. I'm afraid we didn't talk about your car again. Sorry, sir. You know the rules. Right, let's go and see if we can find something else. A few more cars have turned up. This 1972 MGB, which you would have seen before, it's owned by Captain Reed. This is the Instagram Molly underscore V underscore MGB GT. He's just turned up. He's even got a Fortnum and Mason's hamper in the back. Very posh. I'm supposed to be driving this car at some point. It's just have the engine rebuilt on it as well. I don't know when that'll be. I'm not sure I'll get a chance to do that today, but at some point, because it is really nice. We've also had something incredibly rare turn up here. A 2001 facelifted Citroen Zara VTS 3-door. I don't even remember the last time I saw any 3-door Zara, let alone a VTS. This is the sort of, obviously, the Claudia Schiffer car. If you remember the adverts back in the day, I think that was perhaps on the pre-facelift ones, but the owner's very kindly opened it up for me so we can have a look. Very jazzy seats, very typical of about the year 2000. One thing I would say about this is the dash is just not the most interesting one. It's very, very sort of conventional. This dates from a time when, essentially, with cars like this and the Saxo, we're trying to go for a more conventional sort of image. They price their cars relatively low, and they sold them with things like free insurance. So yeah, I just can't believe it's an amazing sort of survivor, this one. Oh yes, and Alpha 156 has turned up. It's a cloverleaf. That looks fascinating too. We do like Alphas on this channel. Also, we just never have a look at the Audi RS4 that's turned up. It's 2007 RS4. Very, very, very clean. I don't think I've driven one of these though. Mr Brian Coleman, as opposed to Mr James Coleman, has brought this 2001 MGTF, which you might have seen on my channel before. I have filmed this before. He's the one who owns the Dolomite you would have seen on Sensible Secondhand Classics recently. Just having a word with Stephen about the Forbidden Fuel 75 that we cannot discuss on this channel, I'm afraid, viewers. So we must go and find something else to do. Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. So, this little Fiat 500's turned up, along with this Suzuki Alto. It's 8182. It's a Mark I Alto, complete with parking wand. And there we go. There's the Instagram one. Groves and the Gibbs. Alto FX. That's probably a Japanese domestic market one, judging by the plates. So 66 500. It's one of the later ones because the doors are the other way around. I'm not really an expert on these. I'm not even sure I could fit in one of these, to be honest. But here it is. It does look quite nice. But then I've just been alerted to something rather special. Gilks Garage back in the 70s was a Roots dealership, and any of you who've been here before, and I'm sure many of you have, will have seen the posters for Roots cars inside. So this fits right in. 7273 Hillman Hunter, GLS by Holbay. Look at this. This is just amazing. The colour is ever so typical of the period as well. I don't know what this is called. It's probably similar to, I think, a Daytona yellow that Ford would have had. Just take a look at the interior as well. Gosh, I don't know if those seats are original, but that is rather special. Yeah, so the GLS and GT were the sporty ones, and this is actually the Holbay. I think the cylinder head or something was changed by Holbay. So that is one extremely rare car. So we've come to the end of the social event really here at Gilks Garage. I was going to film that Astra F, but I didn't get a chance because I was seduced by this little French model here, so I'm afraid it didn't happen. But you've seen Astra Fs on my channel before, viewers. I've done 2 of them. Perhaps we'll get to go another go in that at some point soon. But thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Thank you to Mr Richardson for putting on his event, which was always most enjoyable. And we shall see you again very soon.